You can honestly build up an incredible fragrance collection with only 10 cents. You know, when it comes down to it, that's more than enough to give you everything that you need for pretty much any situation, formal, casual, any time of the year. So for this video, I'm gonna try to keep it as affordable as I can. We're not doing any niche for this one, sticking with all designers, some premium designers, so we're not going completely cheap either. But if you were only going to buy 10, I think you should invest in some good quality scents, ones that are really going to pay you back in the long run, meaning they're not going to sit there and not get used because you don't like them for one reason or another. They don't perform, they're low quality, they just don't smell that good, etc. These are the opposite of all that. These are amazing, good performing, high quality scents that are worth the money. And again, if you're trying to keep it simple, these are going to help you. So I'm going to walk you through each one of these. First things first, if you want to do some shopping, I'm going to drop links down below to discounters. That way, when I'm talking about prices, which I will, you can get the prices that I'm talking about because I'm not referencing retail pricing. So now let's get things kicked off with kind of a fall and winter scent. It's a JPG Scandal Absolu, one of the newest here. This one has chestnut, sandalwood, and mirabelle. It's only 3 notes that they give you. The chestnut is by far the most prominent note, especially when you first spray this one on. You get hit with that right out of the gate. It has this kind of sweet, gourmand smell, and then a nice, smooth, slightly powdery woodiness coming from that sandalwood. You get, I guess, a little bit of a freshness, but it is still the furthest thing from a fresh scent here. So definitely really leaning into that chestnut. You get some tonka bean as well. They don't list it off, but it's definitely there. I even get, I don't know, a little bit of vanilla, maybe the slightest bit of this hazelnut to go along with that chestnut too. I don't know. I get a little bit of that, but it's a really nice modern day sweet style of scent. You know, this is a Jean Paul Gaultier. They're known for doing things like this, but at the same time, they're known for putting out fragrances that actually work really well. They get you good compliments. They're, following the trends. So people around you are kind of going to be conditioned to like this sort of thing as well. They're good at doing that. Now, if you want something that is maybe a little bit more challenging to you, the wearer, this probably won't be it. Maybe we've got a couple things in this video more so towards the end that will do that for you, but this is for the guys who just want to play it safe. You just want something that's a big compliment puller and a great performer for fall and winter. This is it, and I recommend picking it up. I think price range right now is just a little over 100, maybe 120 or so on discounters. This next one is Y Eau de Parfum Intense by YSL. Now we're kind of looking at more of our spring, summer, maybe more so spring, although I've worn it in summer a lot, mainly because I've worn Y Eau de Parfum in the summertime a lot over the years, and this one is actually a bit fresher. It's a little bit more appropriate for that type of temperature. So all this is doing is taking that original Y Eau de Parfum DNA, removing the apple accord, and amping up the geranium and the lavender and the clary sage and all of those aromatics. That's what this one does. So you have all of those notes there that I listed off. You have the amberwood, right? All of these things that have existed in previous versions, but the main difference, of course, is the lack of that sweet apple, which gives it Y Eau de Parfum, a pretty prominent sweetness that could make it a little bit too overbearing for really warm weather wear. Now, to me, this is still kind of an aromatic, slightly green leaning scent, not full on green, but just a little bit. And I think it does smell more appropriate for spring, like if I'm putting it on one season. But again, it doesn't have to be that cut and dry. You can wear this in summer like I have many times, and it smells great when you get some heat on it, actually. You get so much versatility out of this as well. More casual leaning, but I mean, you don't have to play by the book, so to speak. You can use your best judgment on when you think it's best to wear this, but you can get a lot of use out of something like this. You pay right around $100 on discounters for it right now, and it's something that you can wear pretty much as a signature scent when the weather is fair. I wouldn't choose this for winter, at least not where I live. It would just be too cold for it to even really perform well. But pretty much any other time you can wear this and it's going to work. And again, people like that simplicity and just the fact that you can spray it on and you're set. That's what this one does. It has pretty similar performance to the Eau de Parfum as well. Maybe not quite as strong. Again, that apple really lends a sweet, richness to the eau de parfum, but man, it's not too far behind, so an amazing performer as well. Coming up from Chanel, we have Allure Homme Edition Blanche. You could go for really any Chanel. I think every guy out there should have a Chanel, okay? You know, you can't get them discounted. They're expensive. I understand, you know, that part sucks. But at the end of the day, they are a brand that creates amazing quality, amazing smelling scents. And so you can take your favorite, Allure Homme Extreme, Allure Homme Sport, one of the Bleu de Chanels. Again, take your pick. Just for trying to provide a little bit of variety here, instead of going for a Bleu de Chanel or Allure Homme Sport Extreme, which by the way, I love and wear both of those a lot, even still, which some people just think I'm lying, but it's true. I really wear Bleu de Chanel, mostly the Parfum, quite often, and I really wear Allure Homme Sport Extreme a lot too. There's just something about it that's just, it's so simple in the terms that, again, it's familiar to me. It's something that I enjoy wearing, I enjoy smelling because I've worn it for so long. But getting off of that tangent, Edition Blanche kind of has a lemon take. So you've heard it described as a lemon meringue pie type of smell. That's a good way to put it, kind of give you an idea of where it sits. What I like to say is that it's just kind of your summer gourmand. It's when, you know, it's hot outside and you want something that, you know, doesn't have just pure, fresh aquatic notes and citrus, and that's it. Sometimes that can get a little bit boring and maybe you want to change things up, then go for this. It has that nice bright lemon, just a bit of a fresher take, but a different type of fresh take on, you know, the Allure Homme lineup. It's just, it smells really nice. It does have a mouth-watering kind of sour lemon accord in here, which smells great. You know, you typically don't have too many gourmand fragrances that are really good for summer wear without them being too sweet, but this is one of the few that if you pull it off right, it can actually work really well. So again, summer works great. Spring would be an amazing time to wear this one as well. Most people would probably prefer it in spring. You could wear it into fall if you wanted to also. It does have maybe a little bit of a, you know, fall sweetness to it, I guess, if you wanted to do that. But again, another one that is expensive, but you can get your money's worth out of easily. All right, this next one's going to be kind of another year-rounder. It just depends on how you look at it and what you prefer. It's Acqua di Gio Elixir. So it's the newest one, but it's coming down in price, or at least it has been. I wouldn't pay retail for it, but on discounters, usually you're going to be $130 or less. I understand that's still expensive, and that's something where that price might improve a little bit more, but that's just kind of where it's going to be. It's still just a little, I mean, kind of in line with Dior Sauvage Elixir, really. That one is 60 ml and typically going to be, you know, $160. So that one's probably still a little bit more expensive price per milliliter wise than something like this. So that just kind of puts it into perspective as well. It has violet leaf, leather, watery notes, bergamot. So a little bit of a floral take, but also a leathery take on Acqua di Gio, which is interesting. I wasn't expecting really the floral component at all. That was kind of a surprise given that it's an elixir with a black bottle. That part took me by surprise, but the leather, I saw that listed off and was pretty excited about that, and I was hoping that it would be something that you can pick up on, and you definitely do. It makes a really big difference in this scent DNA. You know, they've taken Parfum / Profumo and thrown in some incense patchouli and made that a little bit darker and richer, but the leather, that really gives it a unique twist as well, but you're still keeping plenty of freshness. You've still got the violet leaf, you've still got the watery notes and the citrus. It really does keep it balanced perfectly to where it's still very much an Acqua di Gio. It's not going too far down the path where it's too heavy, too sweet, and not aquatic at all. It's not the case. And I think that because you have all of these notes, right, the leather, and then the violet leaf, and then the watery notes, and then the bergamot, right? And then the florals and stuff. I mean, it literally has, you know, violet leaf and white florals for spring. In my opinion, that's what I go to when I smell notes like that. It just has this cooling spring smell. You've got the watery notes and the citrus and stuff like that for summer, right? Aquatic, citrusy, it makes sense. And the leather is like lending it to be a little bit of a richness maybe for fall or just when things are a bit cooler, a cooler spring day, a cooler fall day. You just get maximum usability out of this. I mean, it's an aquatic scent that can be extended like throughout 3 seasons, which I think is pretty cool. And we've got that with Acqua di Gio Parfum as well. I understand that. But this is just a different take. If you either don't like Parfum or you're tired of it, you want something different, whatever it might be, this is something different. This is still maintaining a very versatile DNA, but with a twist. This next one is Valentino Born in Roma Intense. They give us 3 notes: vanilla, vetiver, and then what is it, some sort of sandalwood or something? Lavender, vanilla, and vetiver. So lavender is the one I was missing there. I'm sure there's sandalwood in here. I'm sure there's some sort of woodiness in here, but vanilla, yeah, you get it. Vetiver, it's there. It's not at the forefront though, really. Lavender, yeah, you get that as well, right? The note breakdown is, it doesn't really tell a whole lot. Those are notes that are very standard. They're very common, and you know, they're notes that can either stand out or blend in depending on how they're used. And in this instance here, everything kind of blends in. It's not like you're looking at just a vanilla scent or a vetiver scent or a lavender scent with this. It's really well blended where nothing sticks out at the forefront there. It's just a nice mixture of a little bit aromatic, a little bit fresh, a little bit sweet. That is kind of the key components to creating a popular, mass-pleasing scent, something that is kind of combining the best of both worlds, a little bit fresh, a little bit sweet. You're appealing to a lot of people that way. And this stuff is actually really popular. I mean, when you look around online, a lot of people are talking about it. It'll go on sale. People are scooping it up like crazy. It's one that people want. It's one that's being talked about, and it makes complete sense. I understand why this one is so popular right now, because it just has that new style scent sweetness that you expect to smell these days. Kind of like I've talked about, this is not something that's going to be, you know, a challenging scent to, you know, most of you guys out there, if any of you, right? This is, it's pretty standard. You've probably smelled something like this before. However, when it comes down to it, if you want something that's wearable, you know, this is going to be kind of more cooler weather leaning. I'm not going to be pushing this one into summer. I'm going to be looking at cooler spring days, fall wear, and then maybe even into winter. It's got enough of a sweetness where I would definitely look at this one in wintertime for sure. So that's kind of where it fits. Everything except for, you know, scorching hot summer days is when you could use this one. It's a great performer, so it is going to hold up in those cold temperatures. All right, let's go for an oldie here, you know. I mean, why not? It's CH Mint. I love this stuff. You know, you don't hear about it anymore. You can still get it. For whatever reason, I thought it was sold out, but then I looked again, and yeah, it's definitely not sold out at all. I think it's still $50, $60 right now for 100 ml. The bottles look a little bit different. Disregard that. This is an old bottle. The new bottles are out. Nothing to be worried about there. This one has leather, sugar, and grass. Very interesting note breakdown, and to be fair, it's an interesting scent. It has this cooling and refreshing smell to it, which I don't remember the full note breakdown, but it almost has a violet leaf type of smell. I don't think that they listed off, but I guess that would be coming maybe from the grass, maybe even the type of leather that they're using in here as well. And then you get a little bit of a sweetness, which I would imagine would be coming from that sugar note that they list off. It's just such a unique smell, such a cooling, refreshing, leathery, but also sweet type of scent. It really is something different, something unique. You know, we don't have stuff like this anymore. So this is something that I still wouldn't call it a challenging scent by any means, because this is very easy to get your head around, at least in my opinion, but it's something that is different, and especially for, you know, in today's time, 2025, this kind of goes against the grain a little bit. This is something that is different. Obviously, it's been out for several years at this point, but again, people just aren't really talking about this, seemingly not wearing it all that much, and I think it's still a viable option to purchase in 2025 heading into 2026. I think there's no reason not to. You know, the performance might be a little bit of a limiting factor for some. If you can work this one in on days where you don't need it to last for 10 hours, then, you know, that's something you can definitely do. Running errands or something for a few hours in the afternoon, you know, something like that would be great for a scent like this. And it, to be fair, it lasts more than a couple of hours. It's just not a marathon, you know, 10+ hour performing scent like we're kind of used to. But man, it is still something cool, something unique. Rochas Moustache Eau de Parfum is perfect for right now, fall. If you're not wearing this right now in fall, you need to, because this is the time of year to wear it. You can push it into winter time as well. I do think there are better options for winter. So this is the time to be wearing something like this. And it doesn't have to be this. It could be YSL Tuxedo if you want to spend, you know, the money on that. But more realistically, you could also go for Afnan Tarathi Brown, Maison Alhambra the Tux, Fragrance World Suits, and there are many more YSL Tuxedo clones as well. And yes, that's essentially what this is. More of an inspiration. I wouldn't say it's a dead-on clone. I don't think that they were trying to do so. The other ones that I listed off, more dead-on. This one, a slight deviation, but that's kind of why I like it, because I have Tuxedo and I have all of those clones that I listed off. So having something that is a bit different is appealing to me. Basically focusing in on the vanilla and the benzoin with a pink pepper. Not quite as much patchouli like in YSL Tuxedo and some of the other clones, or all of the other clones really, that are trying to get it super accurate, but it still smells amazing. It's still heavily inspired by and very similar to Tuxedo. Typically around $40 for this, and this is, I always have to check, it's a 125 ml bottle, so a little bit more bang for your buck there. Nice super heavy bottle presentation as well. Cool kind of gunmetal looking cap. I mean, just nice presentation, feels high quality, and is a high quality scent too. All right, now this one's gonna be a little bit more unique. If you wanted something that maybe is a bit of a challenge in some regard, Pasha di Cartier Parfum is a great one to look at. This one has sandalwood, liquor, tonka bean, and some benzoin vanilla in here as well. So a nice boozy sandalwood-based green fir resin scent. It's very premium. It's very gentlemanly smelling, if that's a word. It smells like a gentleman. It's mature, basically, is what I'm getting at. It has this premium, expensive type of high-end smell to it, although it's not at a premium, expensive price, relatively speaking to how it could be. Basically, right around, I don't know, like $85 to $95 on discounters. Usually right at around or under that $100 price point is about where you could be looking to pick this one up for. So that's really not bad, especially these days. And again, this is full size here, 100 ml bottle and a pure parfum, like an actual parfum as well. So, you know, when you take a look at how the bottle sizes are getting smaller and smaller and going for a higher price than this, that helps to put it into perspective. This really, it packs a lot of bang for your buck into a scent that is not nearly as expensive as you would expect it to be. Really strong performer and fantastic for fall and winter. Probably mostly winter, it really holds up well in that time, and just given the sweetness and the depth that it has, that's when I would pick it up for most. Last up, for winter time, Spicebomb Extreme. I've said it before, but this is my basically Thanksgiving to New Year's scent. What I mean by that is just like peak holiday season, right? Here in early November, it doesn't really feel like the holidays yet to me. It's still technically fall, and you know, I don't have any holiday spirit. Once you get to Thanksgiving or right around that time, then that starts to kick in and start to feel that holiday mood. That's when I start wearing this one heavily, and I'll wear that up through, you know, December up until around the Christmas time. This is a perfect one to wear for then. Just has this tobacco kind of Christmas tree vanillic type of smell to it. And then New Year's Eve, you know, parties and events and all that stuff, really nice one. And then after all that, all the fun stuff is over, and now it's just cold, right? And then I'm on to something else. So that's really when I like Spicebomb Extreme. It just smells like the holiday season to me. I don't know, always has. Beast mode performing tobacco, vanilla, black pepper scent that I think every guy should have in their collection for winter. Okay guys, that's gonna do it for me. Some fragrances that if you only wanted 10, these are some ones that I would look into, and this is kind of where I would start. Like I said, I'll have links to each one of these down below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.